Hi everybody, it's Steffi and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing the August BoxyCharm 2020 makeup trial. So what do we have this month? We have the Glamglow Moisturetrip Moisturizer, the Voilet Voss Essentials 2 palette, which is very beautiful, and I will show you again. The colors that I used today are the two blues in the palette. Then we have the Milk Makeup Kush Fiber Brow in the shade Herb. The Aestetica Bronzer, which I believe is a same shade for everybody, but in case you want to see it, that's what she looks like. And then last, we have the Tarte Sugar Rush Butter Lip Balm. So if you want to see me use all these products and how I react to them and how I rate them, then stay tuned. Let's roll the clip. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, as I do with any new eyeshadow palette that I get, is I do the eyes first. So we have the Essentials 2 palette, and inside these are the colors. So I think for today we're going to use these blue colors right here, and we're probably going to use this beige as like a setting, how do I want to say it, just to kind of set over the eye. As you can see on here, there isn't really a color for us to use for a brow bone highlight that's going to go with those blues, so we're just going to use regular highlighter, but we are going to start with the eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes, and then we will get into this. Okay, so the first shade in the palette we are going to go in with is called Beige. That is this color right here. So we're going to go in with that just to set the eye. I have found with the Voilet Voss, or what is it, the Pretty Vulgar eyeshadow base, you can go ahead and set your eye and the colors still will come through and pick up and grip to your eye. But one thing I've also found is like having a designated brush for this is a good idea, because a lot of times my brush will get really tacky from that eyeshadow base, which I have never seen before, but my brush is a little bit discolored because of that. So it's just one of those things where it's different. I'm not really having the greatest morning, so I'm trying to like keep it together and still get this makeup trial rocking and rolling, but it's been so hot out lately. I haven't had time to play with these eyeshadows because it's been so hot, and usually I do a trial run by myself just to kind of see how the shadows are going to perform beforehand, but I couldn't do that because we just didn't have the time because it was too hot to even wear makeup. So now I'm going to take, where is my smaller brush? Or do I want a bigger brush? Let's use a bigger brush. So I'm going to use my blending eye brush from e.l.f. and we are going to go in with the shade Blue Sky right here, and we're going to put that in our crease and all over our lid. There's some kick up in the pan, but it's nothing that's really too much. Oh, this is going on real light. I'm actually going to zoom you guys in so you can see better. How close can I get you? Okay. So as you can see, it's like a little wash of color, and I was expecting more pigment because the other palette has more pigment in it. Sorry, you can't see that. I mean, it's there. It's definitely there, but it's not as pigmented as I would like it to be. So let's see if we can spray our brush and get a little bit more color payoff than this, because the color in the pan is a little bit more vibrant and I want more. I want more. As you guys can see, my hair is a lot shorter and it is a different color. It was my birthday recently this month, so I did get my hair cut and styled, so that is why it looks so different. It is a purple on top, and then I did underneath like an aquamarine greenish blue color, and I feel like it looks nice. I was hoping that this purple would be more of a vibrant purple, not like a bluish purple, but on camera it's actually showing up really good. Alright, so now we're going to try to blend this out and see what we can do, because my brush is wet, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to blend this out. Blues are really hard to work with. That's another reason why I wanted to try the blue in this palette, but so are purples. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to leave that as it is, and then when we go in with our brow bone highlight, that should kind of fix that. So I'll do one eye on camera with you guys, the other eye off camera. And then I'm going to take my, where's the small one? This is the eye crease brush from e.l.f. I'm going to use that with the shade Aqua. So that is this shade right here, and it is a shimmer. So I want to see if we can pick this up right away without having to spray, and it looks like we can. So let's see how that goes on. I want this on the inner part of my eye, and I want to leave the outer part with just that blue. Well, what it's looking like is, not sure if you can see that, it's looking like, can we focus please, more like a topper than a shimmer. So we might just go in over the whole lid with this. Alright guys, I haven't filmed the video in so long because my videos have been pre-recorded. I had 1 week where I just got like 4 videos done, and ever since then I haven't really recorded much. So I'm kind of like out of it in that sense. I think that looks pretty. I think it'll look better once we get something on the brow bone. But as for the colors, well, I mean, we can get into all this later, but I was really hoping the shimmer would be a little bit brighter than it is. But it's pretty dark in the pan, so I guess. All right, let me go do my other eye. I'll come back and we'll pop something on that brow bone and move on from there. All right, so eyeshadow is on. One palette I really like to go in with for a brow bone highlight is the Shared Planet Tiger collection. You guys know we got this from BoxyCharm. So I am going to go in with the shade Roar. Where is it? Right here. And it is a very, very reflective shimmer. But I feel like it's almost like fairy dust. Like, it is so shimmery, and I love that. And it doesn't really leave a cast either. As you can see, it's just a shimmer. I mean, it doesn't add that much of a difference, but it doesn't look like such a, like, this is such a harsh line over here. Adding just that extra little bit of something and then blending those together can really change your eye look. And I feel like that is important, you know, just to blend that in. And you can totally see the difference. It's a little bit more muted down now. It doesn't look so harsh. I mean, if you wanted to leave it this way, you absolutely could. I just feel like it looks a little bit wonky, like it's not really my journey. So I will not be doing that. But I can do both eyes on camera for you guys because this part really doesn't take that long. And I just absolutely love this eyeshadow. I use it as much as I can. And of course, we did get this palette from BoxyCharm, so we love that. At least it's a cool day outside today. All right, so there we go. Now our eyes are looking beautiful. I am gonna go do my base now, and then I'll come back and we can test out this new bronzer. But one thing I want to check close up is for fallout. We have some. The majority of it is from that Roar shade that we use, but I always know it's going to do that. So let's see. As for the blue, I'm not really seeing much. There's a little bit on this side, but it isn't a lot. All right. Well, when I come back, we will do our bronzing. I almost forgot. Before we go in with any of that, we have our choice item, our Glamglow Moisturetrip moisturizer. So let's use that. Now, the reason why I don't use this before I do my eyeshadow is because it will make the eyeshadow stick to it, which we don't want. So there's this little lid on here I have to take off. This does have like sativa seed oil in it or something, and I'm not really sure if I'm a big fan of that. It's going on very smooth. It has a scent, but it's like, it's almost like the smell of glue. It's not really that pleasant of a scent. And being an oily girl, I feel like this is going to make me even more oily, as you can see already. But it did go on very nicely. It does feel very, very moisturizing. It's a little bit tacky to the skin, but my skin feels very soft. So we'll see how this does with my foundation, because as you guys know, after you put on setting powder and setting spray, your face can feel very dry. So I really want to see how this acts under the makeup and if it's going to change the look of my foundation or anything like that. But I will be back when it's time to do bronzer. Okay, so it is not time for bronzer yet. I am going to set my face with the Creme Shop baking powder, but I wanted to show you this brush I got from Real Techniques. It was a set of 5. I will be talking about some of these other brushes later, but this one is called a soft accent brush. I like to use this brush especially for setting my under eyes, but I use it just to set my whole face because I feel like it's the perfect size for under your eye. So I just wanted to show that to you guys. I did get this at Walmart, so if you're looking for a under eye setting brush, you don't need to go to Morphe, you don't need to go to Ulta, you can get one at Walmart. Also in this brush set is a fan brush. It's not the greatest fan brush, but it's a fan brush. Another thing I want to mention as I am setting my face is that with this bronzer, you want to set your whole face. So you're going to see me putting on a lot of setting powder today because this bronzer, if you do not set it, especially with this foundation, it will get very patchy and you don't want it to look patchy. Also with this setting powder, with the Creme Shop one, I've learned that if you leave it on for too long, it almost acts as like a brightening powder, which is great if that's what you really want. But if it's not what you want, that's not what you want to do. So I'm just letting you know right now, it can act as a brightening powder. I realize this brush is pretty small for setting your whole face, but like I said, I like to keep my brushes separate. And I do have my big powder brush that I will be going in and brushing everything away with, and that will help blend everything together. But I just really love this setting powder. I mean, setting powders can be expensive depending on who you're getting it from, but you know, What is going on over here? All my setting powder is like flying all around all over the place. All right, so that was this brush, but I just wanted to show that because it is new. So if you see me using it and you're like, what the heck's that? That's what it is. So now I want my whole face matte for this because I feel like with this bronzer, it's very important, even your nose, because when you do your nose contour, nobody wants a really harsh nose contour. I can kind of get away with that because I do have glasses. So for me, it's a little bit easier because part of that nose contour gets hidden. But if you don't have glasses, you don't want a harsh nose contour. Another thing I like about this powder is it does give you a little bit of a blurring effect. And so far with that moisturizer underneath the skin, it doesn't feel like my skin is dry, like it's going to crack or anything. So that's a good sign. Again, I haven't used any moisturizers with what this one claims to have in it, which I believe is, let me double check that I have this right because I don't want to speak wrong. Sativa seed oil. But I've heard that's very moisturizing, so this could be a holy grail, but we'll see by the end of the video. All right, so now it is time to use our Aestetica bronzer. I have found that with this one, it's a little bit dark for my usual complexion, so I am using my darker complexion products for like when I have a tan. And I do have a body bronzer that I use also. That way my face matches my body. But this is the color inside. It looks very light, but as you can see with the light off, it's actually pretty dark. Another thing I found, and I want to show you this, is when you swirl this around, I'm not sure if you can see that, maybe if I do it this way, a lot of it kicks up. So I just want to make sure you guys are aware that there is a lot of kick up in the pan. See that? But I do find that it's a decent bronzer, but you really have to be careful with this because it can go on a little bit dark if you use too much, which I may have grabbed too much from swirling that around for you guys. But we can always buff that out. So I just want to show you how it performs. Yeah, I'm going to have to fix that on my forehead. I stared at my light for too long, so now my eyes are all messed up. Not really great when you're trying on makeup. I mean, I played with this the other day just to see which foundation it would work best with, but I would definitely say it's a little bit darker than what I had anticipated when I swatched it. So that's just something to keep in mind, is that it's not as light as it swatches. I'm just trying to even this out over here. Let me turn this off. I mean, it's still, even though I set everything, looks a little bit patchy to me, but I'm not really going anywhere. That's one thing I always try to avoid, and I noticed that yesterday too, but I think this bronzer is just maybe a little bit patchy. Definitely not my favorite, but now it's time to do the nose contour, which I always enjoy a good snatched nose. Now this is gonna look dark, but once I buff it away, it won't be so dark. But like I said before, it's important to set your whole face, otherwise the bronzer is going to stick the color that you put it on, and it's going to be a lot darker than you want. I mean, unless that's your jam. Some people, that's the way they do it. If I get a really light bronzer, I won't set my face. But there you go, that's the nose contour. So what I think about this is, and we'll get into all this later, but I think that it's a little bit too powdery and it just doesn't blend very well. That's what I have to say about that. All right, so next we'll do eyebrows, and we have the Milk Kush Fiber Brow product. I did use this once. One thing that I noticed is you have to be very careful with this because it is pigmented. So you have to be very careful where you're putting this. So you can't really fluff out your eyebrows too much with this because then the gel will get on your skin and that doesn't look very good. But I mean, it gives you a little bit of pigment where you need it. I wouldn't say this is my favorite, but I would say if you have a decent brow structure, but you just need a little bit of pigment in there, this would be a good product for you. For me, I like more of a fluffy brow, and I can't really fluff my brows out too much with this because then the pigment just gets everywhere. But that's what that looks like. As you can see, my brows are pigmented. So what do we have left in our box? I think the only thing left is the lip gloss. So I'm going to go ahead and finish my face and makeup, and then we will play with the lip gloss. Okay, so I haven't did my lip yet, but I just wanted to show you guys the fan brush. So this is the Real Techniques fan brush. It is a little bit different, but this is what it looks like. And it is the RT420. The fibers on the top of this are a little bit thinner, but it does give you a nice line for your highlighter, as you can see that right there. And then I usually do it on my nose like this. But I think it's a real nice fan brush because I haven't had a fan brush. But anyway, now it's time to do a lip, and I don't think we're going to go on with a lip liner this time just because, I mean, I usually use a lip liner with darker colors, but we're going to be using Ballerina Shoes. This is by L'Oreal, and I believe it's their L'Oreal Paris collection. It is a very pretty pink, so we are going to pop that on. I don't really like shimmery lipsticks, but I do think this looks pretty. Also, it's a little bit more sheer, kind of just like a wash of color. Something that's not really going to take away from the eyes. As you guys know, I'm a very big neutral lip girl. I have 3 neutral lips. I also have a purple lip, which I could have did today to kind of match the hair, but I figured we would do this. So let's now grab our little lip balm, which I find so adorable. I keep this by my bed at night because if you live anywhere where it's hot, you always have to have a fan, and it does dry out your face, dry out your lips, dry out your everything, and just having a little lip gloss like this is nice because it doesn't get ruined like a traditional lip gloss. When you go to use the applicator, you have to wipe off the applicator all the time. But this one, you don't have to do that because you're just using your finger. Some people are real weird about that, where they don't like that. I forgot how different this was, that it's almost like putty. So I don't know how much extra this is going to add to the lips, but because this lipstick is pretty moisturizing by itself, but if you have like a real dry formula for a lip, I feel like this would be good on top, like a real matte lip, just to keep your lips from cracking. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments if you see a difference with that. It does feel real nice on the lips. Like I said, it's not sticky. And it does stay on for quite a while. I would say about an hour. That's when I tried it, when we unboxed it. That's about how long it stayed on, was about an hour. So now let's kind of get into my thoughts on everything, because makeup look is done now. You know, it's more of a muted down look today. And I think I'm actually going to put my hair back because it's getting a little bit warm, and I know you guys aren't used to seeing me with my hair down either, but as you can see, it's a lot shorter. In case you guys didn't know, my hair was down to my elbows before I had it cut. There we go. Okay. I gotta fix this camera and figure out why it's doing that. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so my makeup is falling everywhere. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's go through everything. Okay, so choice item, Glamglow Moisturetrip. So this was, let's go back to our card, because I always keep this up here. Hello. $54 for this. I can already tell this is a full-size product. It is huge. I do enjoy it, even from using it for the first time. I can tell you right now, usually, oh, I didn't even set my face. Let's do that real quick. This e.l.f. Matte Magic Mist and Set has the best mister. It is comparable to the Glamglow one. Is it Glamglow? What brand is that? You guys, I'm all over the place. I don't think it's Glamglow. I think it's, what is this? Glow Recipe. See, that's why I got it mixed up, because they both have glow in their name. The Glow Recipe Mist, this is similar to that. I mean, it doesn't smell like watermelon. It's a little bit drying, but the mister on this, you cannot beat. I will not use Milani setting sprays because it's like a water gun for your face, and it's terrible. And it also always messes up my mascara, which, as you can see, is not happening right now because I really like this setting spray. It's pretty small, but it lasts you a while, even if you use it every day. Just wanted to mention that. But yes, so the Glamglow Moisturetrip. I think this is a good investment. There's a lot in here. I didn't have to use a lot on my face because it's more of a, I don't want to say greasy, but it's more of a slippery consistency. It's not really that thick. And you would think it would be for a moisturizer, but it's really thin. It's similar to the Glassy Skin Balm that we got, I believe, a month or two before this. It's similar to that, but it doesn't smell like peaches. This one actually smells kind of unpleasant. So one thing I would say is, if that bothers you, don't buy this. But anybody who has heard of this brand usually likes it. So just something to keep in mind, guys. Next, we're going to talk about the palette. So the color story in here is great because you have all of these neutrals in here, and then you have these pops of color. The problem I have with this is, if you're, aside from using the blues or the browns, you're going to need a different palette to kind of complement this palette, because I have seen somebody else do a try on with the pink and the purple, and they pretty much said they look the same. So you can't really make a look out of those because it's just going to blend together. But having the Essentials 1 palette and this palette, you could definitely make a look with those, because an Essentials 1 palette, I believe, is a black and a white and a dusty rose and a green. And if you have both of these together, you're good. But you will need another palette if you want to play with the pinks and the purples. But other than that, I think that it's a great palette, especially if you like those neutrals. I'm a neutral girl, so you know, having extra stock of neutral colors is always good for me, because then I know I'm not going to run out. So that's good. This bronzer, let's talk about this Aestetica bronzer, because I feel like everybody got the same shade from what I could see. I don't want to open it just because it's so powdery. Luckily, the clasp on this is very good. It does have a very decent mirror in it, I will say that. But from the first time that I swatched it to actually using it today, you can still see on my forehead that it's a little bit patchy. And if we look like in the middle of my forehead, which I can try to fix, I'm not going anywhere today anyway, it just almost looks like dirt on my face. Like, I'm not happy with this bronzer at all. I probably will not get much use out of it. I might actually donate this one, and usually I keep all my bronzers, but I didn't really like this. It's great for a nose contour, as you can see that, and maybe I'll keep it just for nose contouring. But as for using it in big areas where you have to blend it a lot, I don't really think this is the best. Anyway, I'm skipping over things. The palette was $36. A little bit expensive for a palette, but if you like Violet Voss, that's what you're going to get. This bronzer from Aestetica is $24. I would not buy this again. Well, I didn't buy it in the first place, but I would not buy this. I feel like there's a lot better bronzers out there, even drugstore ones, that are better quality than this. So I would say don't spend your money on this. If you didn't get it, you didn't miss out on anything. And then we have the Milk Kush Fiber Brow Gel. And this one is in the shade Herb, which is a weird name because it's brown, not green. As you guys can see, it worked. I mean, my eyebrows are staying in place where I put them. It is pigmented, but for me, I'm just more of a pencil girl. So I tried it. I was very excited about this. I might use it on occasion, but it's not really the product for me. This was $20. Again, I think that's a good deal because you're saving one step in your makeup routine. If you do like this type of thing and you have the eyebrows for it, I really don't, as you guys can tell. My eyebrows look very misshapen right now, but I can't put this anywhere else because it's just going to look weird. It's not a pencil. So, yeah, I have this. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. And then last, we have my favorite, the Tarte Sugar Rush Best Bud Butter Lip Balm. This is so adorable. I'm absolutely obsessed with this. I think it's so cute. When this runs out, I'm probably going to get another one. It's not like some lip glosses are like overly sticky, overly whatever. This one isn't like that, and it also didn't like take away any of my lip color from my lipstick. So I do like that, but like I said, I feel like this would be perfect if you had a real matte lip that you were using, which usually dries out your lips. If you just put a little bit of this on top, it might leave a little bit of a sheen, but it's not going to be super glossy, super shiny. It's not shimmery or anything like that. And if you're more of a natural girl, I feel like this is a product that you're really going to enjoy. So I really like this. And for 12 bucks, it's just, I would buy it again. I haven't bought anything from Tarte, but maybe I'll start, and maybe I'll buy some Shape Tape, and one day you guys will see that. I don't know. But anyway, this is really cute. So now what are my thoughts on the overall value of the box after doing the makeup trial? Well, I'm going to give it a 4 because you know what? Even though this bronzer and this brow gel did not really speak to me, it was what I wanted. So I'm going to give it a 4 because everything else in the palette, wow. I need more coffee today. Everything else in here I will still use, but these two, I think I'm going to end up donating just because I'm not going to get any use out of them. Maybe somebody else can use them that doesn't have a bronzer or that doesn't have anything to do their eyebrows with. And I, would rather give back than let them sit in my beauty drawer, which is already overflowing with things that I don't need. So that is that. I hope you guys enjoyed this makeup trial. Stay tuned for the next unboxing and other videos I have coming up on my channel. I do have some videos pre-recorded, so there is content that will be coming out for you guys in the next couple weekends, but that's going to be it for me. I am going to include, after this section, clips of my setup for when I do my makeup trial things. Like when you guys see me filming and putting on makeup, I just want you guys to see what that's going to look like. So if you don't want to watch that part, you can leave the video now. But anyways, that's going to be included after this. So if you like the video, leave it a like. If you're new, please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Mwah. Hey you guys, so I know this is a little bit different, but I just wanted to show you how I start getting ready for the BoxyCharm makeup trials. The first thing that I do that's very important is I want to make sure my skin is very clean. Also, I do need to brush my hair because this does not look good. I will be wearing my hair down for the video, but I'm going to be using the Dr. Brandt Microdermabrasion Age Defying Exfoliator right here. I don't really like this because I feel like it burns my skin a little bit, but it is an exfoliator, so I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to use a face mask For this week, I kind of switched between all the ones that I have, but I'm going to use the Glamglow Berry Glow one. And I don't think I have my spatula up here, but I have a little spatula I use with it so I don't get my nails all dirty. So I'm going to go get that process started. And then once I have the mask on, I will show you kind of my video setup of how things look when I get ready to do my makeup trial, because I don't have a big desk, so my setup is a little bit different. Okay, so this is the Berry Glow mask on. It's like the consistency of yogurt. I really like this one. It's really like moisturizing to the skin. Also, this is the little spatula I was talking about. You can get a 2-pack of these on Amazon. One of them is blue and the other one's like a teal color. And this tip is like a silicone tip. They're real easy to clean, but just wanted to show you that. All right, let's move on to my setup. This is my setup. As you can see, my desk is really small. This is my printer over here and all my paperwork. So this is where I usually put my beauty blenders, and I put my used sponges up here. Sometimes I'll take my foundations and I'll stick them up there. But I don't really have a lot of room to work with. So I have a chair here that has my all my lipsticks in here. It's got my primers right here, foundations, all my brushes, setting spray, extra palettes if I need extra palettes are in here. And of course, this is everything that we got in this month's boxycharm box. So this is kind of where I sit and I do my thing. So not the greatest setup, but it's a setup.